What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Tony K. I'm glad you clicked on this video because I'm very excited about this video. Last week I counted down my top 5 favorite male fictional characters. And this week it's gonna be the ladies' turn. Now you guys know how countdown videos work, I'm sure. So let's just cut the intro short and get right into the video. Number 5 on this list is a character from currently my favorite book in the world, and that is Jude from I'll Give You the Sun. Now, I lent my book to a friend, so I just have the cover, but it still works. It still works, right? Jude was one of the reasons why I loved reading this book so much. She's very different from any kind of female character I've read before, and I don't mean it in that kind of cliched, stereotypical, typical YA I'm not like other girls kind of line. No, Jude is just different. And if anything, I'd say she's weird. 16-year-old Jude is just someone who knows herself, I think. This book features 2 versions of Jude. And if you didn't watch my I'll Give You the Sun video, I'll give you a quick rundown. There's a 13-year-old side of the story and a 16-year-old side of the story. And Jude's story is 16-year-old Jude and Noah. And 16-year-old Jude is very different from 13-year-old Jude. And in fact, the reason why she's number 5 on this list is because 13-year-old Jude was kind of a brat. That said, 16-year-old Jude kind of made up for everything that 13-year-old Jude did. She's very superstitious and not in the way you would ever imagine, but Jude was just very refreshing to read about. She was very, like I said, one of the things I think that was great about her, and I could be wrong because, you know, this is just my opinion, but she seemed to know who she was and she seemed to know what she wanted. Jude was a good character to read about, and I highly recommend this book if you haven't read it before. Number 4 on this list is a character called Sophie Newman from The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series. Now, I have to admit, it has been a while since I finished this series, probably about 2 or 3 years, so I don't remember a lot of details about the book, about the series in general, but what I do remember most, and what I do remember about Sophie is one thing that kind of is a reoccurring thing with all these characters on this list, is that she is incredibly strong in any kind of sense of the word you can think of. Sophie is independent. She's another character that kind of knows herself and knows what she's doing and what she's going through. I mean, she and her brother Josh, they're twins in this book. Their world is kind of turned upside down very quickly at the beginning of this book, but Sophie still manages to find herself, I still think. But she's just incredibly powerful in like a strong strength power sense. She's an incredibly powerful character, and that's one thing that this series features. There are many female characters in this book that are strong and independent and just make this series what it is, but Sophie is our protagonist. She's our main character. So that's why I had to put her on this list. That's why I thought of her to put on this list. And if you haven't read this series, it's 6 books long and it is incredibly well written, and I think it is highly underrated. Great series. Sophie was a great character that came out of it too. Coming in at number 3 is kind of a surprising character. It even surprised me that I put her on this list, but she deserves to be on this list, no doubt. And that is Abigail from The Help. Now, again, this is a book that I haven't read in a while, but I was looking at my bookshelf to think of characters to put on this list. My eyes laid on The Help. The first character I thought of was Abigail. It's surprising to me because what I remember from this book, Minnie was the one I remembered. I think Minnie's the one everyone remembered. If you've read this book or even seen the movie, Minnie is the character that you remember. But after some thinking, Abigail came to mind, and as I kind of started putting my thoughts together for this character, I kind of realized, wow, Abigail was just the best part about this book. Her journey, I think, is what makes her so great. From the start of the book, she's just the help, and she takes care of so many kids, and then she meets Skeeter. They make the book together, and Abigail, she just goes on this road of self-discovery, I think, and it was just really, really, really good. Yeah, I'm kind of amazed. I think I have to read this book again because Abileen's journey was just something very beautiful to read and watch unfold. The last two characters actually end up in a tie for my favorite female characters. I know. A tie? What are you doing? That's not how this works. Well, it does in my world, because I couldn't pick one character. I couldn't pick one of these two ladies to put over the other. I couldn't. It wasn't fair to one of them. So I put them as a tie, and those characters are Hermione from Harry Potter. I don't think that's any kind of shocker. And Annabeth Chase from the Percy Jackson Heroes of Olympus series. Again, I don't think should come to a shock. I've talked about so much about how I love this whole series, this whole world. Hands down, these two gals are the strongest, most independent female characters in a lead position, I think, of this generation. That's my opinion. And I love both of them for the same reasons, and that's why I had to tie them at number one, why they are my favorite female characters of all time. I love them so much because of how independent they are and how strong they are. Like, these two ladies know what they're doing, and I say that a lot. Like I said, this is a recurring theme about all of these characters on this list. Strong female characters are just something we need in the world, and Annabeth and Hermione are just two perfect characters, I think, and they're both so smart. Oh, that's the thing that's the best about them, how smart they are. Because more often than not, it's these two figuring out how to save the day. It's these two using their brains and their intellect and their knowledge to kind of just make everything work. And they're independent thinkers too. They are self-starters. They're just so inspiring. They're role models, even to me. They're just fantastic, and they're strong, just like Sophie. They are powerful ladies. Annabeth knows how to fight and use her wit, and Hermione knows how to use her magic and use it effectively. And together, these two are just a terrifying combination of strength, independence, and intelligence. And I think you can't go wrong with Hermione or Annabeth in any sense. And that's why these two are my favorite female characters of any kind of fictional world. So there you go. My 5 favorite female, lady, women, girl, fictional characters. If you disagree with me or agree with me, let me know in the comments below. Again, this is just my opinion and how I read these characters. You can think differently about them, that's totally okay. And if you do, yeah, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But if not, let me know who your favorite female characters are. I'd love to know, and maybe even read about them if I don't know them. If you liked any of these characters on this list, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I'll greatly appreciate that. And if you just like learning and listening to people talk about fiction and books and reading and all that stuff, then go ahead and hit subscribe and you'll never miss a video of mine. I post a video every Wednesday, except today, which is Thursday, and the first Friday of every month. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. So, bye! Truth be told, new Pokemon got released on Tuesday, and I needed some time to recover. That's why this video is going up on Thursday instead of Wednesday.